I relax because I am safe, protected, and fully supported by the universe. And right now, my dear, I want you to take a slow, gentle breath with me. Just pause for a moment, let everything soften, your shoulders, your jaw, your thoughts. You don't have to carry anything right now. Not the pressure, not the questions, not the what ifs. Just for this moment. I want you to rest inside this feeling, the possibility that you are already held, already guided, already supported in ways you cannot always see. I know. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, does it? Sometimes it feels like you are alone in this, like you're figuring everything out by yourself, like the world is asking so much from you, and yet giving you so little clarity in return. And you sit there, quietly, wondering, am I doing something wrong? Why is this taking so long? Why does it feel so heavy? My dear, come closer for a moment. Listen gently. Nothing about your journey is a mistake. Nothing about your timing is off. And nothing about you is unsupported, even if it feels that way right now. Take another breath, slower this time. Because what if I told you that the very thing you're calling delay is actually protection? What if I told you that the silence you're experiencing is not abandonment, but preparation? You see, the universe does not rush, not because it doesn't care, but because it sees what you cannot yet see. It sees the bigger picture, the paths you haven't walked yet, the people you haven't met yet, the version of you that is still quietly unfolding. And sometimes what feels like stillness is actually everything rearranging itself just for you, like a seed buried deep in the soil. If you were that seed, you might think, nothing is happening, it's dark, it's lonely, I'm stuck. But beneath the surface, something sacred is taking place. Roots are forming, strength is building, life is preparing to rise. And my dear, you are not stuck. You are becoming. Let that settle into your heart. You are becoming, not failing, not falling behind, not missing your moment. You are becoming, and I want you to gently release the need to understand everything right now, because the mind, oh, it loves certainty. It wants timelines, guarantees, clear steps. But your life, your soul, your journey doesn't move in straight lines. It moves like the ocean, sometimes calm, sometimes uncertain, sometimes pulling you back before it carries you forward again. And if you resist that movement, if you fight it, you feel overwhelmed. But if you soften, if you trust, if you relax into it, something shifts. That's why I want you to hear this. Not just in your mind, but in your body. You are safe, right here, in this moment. Even if things are unclear, you are safe. Even if the future feels uncertain, you are safe. Even if you don't have all the answers, you are still safe. And when you truly begin to feel safe, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop gripping life so tightly. And instead, you begin to receive. Have you noticed that? How exhausting it feels when you're always trying to control everything, trying to make things happen, trying to predict outcomes. It's like holding your breath for too long. But the moment you exhale, the moment you let go, life begins to move again. Not because you gave up, but because you finally allowed things to unfold, allowed yourself to rest, allowed the universe to meet you halfway. My dear, you were never meant to do this alone. You were never meant to carry everything by yourself. There is an intelligence, a quiet, loving presence always guiding you. Sometimes through intuition, sometimes through unexpected delays, sometimes through doors that close. And I know those closed doors can hurt. They can feel like rejection, like loss, like something has gone wrong. But what if, just for a moment, you saw them differently? What if those closed doors were actually protection? Protection from paths that would have drained you. Protection from people who could not hold your heart. Protection from versions of life that were too small for who you are becoming. Take that in, slowly. Not everything you lose is a loss. Not everything that ends is meant to stay. And not everything that delays you is meant to stop you. Sometimes it's simply guiding you, gently, quietly, patiently, towards something more aligned, more peaceful, more true. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? What if you softened that question and asked, what is this preparing me for? Feel the difference. One question tightens the body. The other opens it. And my dear, your life begins to change the moment you begin to soften, not by force, not by struggle, but by surrender. Now, I want you to bring your attention inward. Place a hand over your heart if you can. Feel its rhythm, steady, constant, supporting you without asking for anything in return. That same intelligence, that same quiet support exists in your life, even when you don't notice it, even when you doubt it, even when you forget it. You are still being carried. And I want you to gently repeat this, not loudly, not forcefully, just softly inside yourself. I relax. Pause. Feel it. I am safe. Let it settle. I am protected. Breathe into it. I am fully supported by the universe. Again, slowly, I relax. I am safe. I am protected. I am fully supported. Do you feel that shift? It's subtle, but it's real, because your body, your nervous system, responds to what you tell it. And for so long, you may have been telling yourself, I have to figure this out. I can't trust this. I need to control everything. And your body listened. It stayed tense, alert, guarded. But now, you're teaching it something new. You're showing it safety. You're reminding it that it doesn't have to fight all the time. And this is where your power truly begins, not in forcing outcomes, but in choosing your state, in choosing to feel safe, even before everything makes sense, in choosing to trust, even before you see proof, in choosing to relax, even when the mind wants to worry, because who you are being matters more than what is happening. Let me say that again, gently. Who you are being matters more than what is happening. If you are constantly anxious, fearful, rushed, even the things you receive will feel unstable. But when you are grounded, calm, trusting, even uncertainty begins to feel like possibility. So the question shifts, not when will everything fall into place, but can I feel safe even now? And my dear, the answer can be yes. Right here, in this breath, you can choose softness. You can choose trust. You can choose to lean back, just a little, and let life hold you. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to rush your becoming. You don't have to prove your worth by struggling. You are already enough, already guided, already supported. So, take another deep breath. And now, my dear, I want you to notice something very subtle, yet very powerful. Even the parts of you that feel afraid right now are not your enemies. Even the thoughts that whisper doubt, the moments when you feel like pulling back, hesitating, questioning everything, they are not here to destroy you. They are trying in their own imperfect way to protect you. Can you feel that? That fear, that tightness, that resistance. It's not because something is wrong with you. It's because a part of you learned at some point that it wasn't safe to fully relax, that it wasn't safe to trust, that it wasn't safe to receive. So it built walls, quietly, carefully, over time. And those walls, they've kept you going, they've helped you survive. But my dear, you are no longer in the same place you once were. You are not the same version of yourself that needed those defenses. And yet, the body remembers. The nervous system remembers. It still reacts as if the old dangers are still present. So when life begins to open for you, when something good starts to approach, what happens? Sometimes you feel uneasy. Sometimes you pull back. Sometimes you overthink. Sometimes you create reasons why it might not work. And you wonder, why am I like this? My dear, you are like this because you learned to be, and anything learned can be softened gently, patiently, lovingly, not by force, not by judgment, but by awareness. So instead of pushing those feelings away, I want you to try something different. The next time you feel fear, pause, place your attention on it, and softly say, I see you. I understand why you're here, but I am safe now. Let that land in your body. I am safe now, because the truth is, most of the fear you feel is not about this moment. It's about a memory, a pattern, a past experience, and your system is simply trying to prevent you from feeling that again. But here's the gentle shift I want to offer you. You don't heal by avoiding life. You heal by meeting it from a new state, from a place of safety, from a place of trust, from a place of grounded presence. And this is where everything begins to change. Because when you no longer see your fear as an enemy, you stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, you create space. Space for peace. Space for clarity. Space for receiving. My dear, so much of what you've been asking for, it's not being withheld from you. It's waiting for you to feel safe enough to receive it. Yes, feel that again. Safe enough to receive, because receiving requires openness, and openness requires trust, and trust begins within you. Let me ask you something gently. If everything you desire arrived right now, would your body feel calm or overwhelmed? Would you feel grounded, or would you feel like you might lose it? There's no right or wrong answer here, just honesty. Because sometimes we think we're ready, but internally we're still bracing, still guarding, still expecting something to go wrong. And the universe, in its quiet intelligence, does not just respond to your words, it responds to your state, to your emotional readiness, to the signal you are embodying. So this journey you're on, it's not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming someone who can hold it peacefully, steadily, joyfully. And you are already in that becoming. Even now, as you sit here, listening, breathing, softening, you are changing. You are teaching your body a new way to be, a new way to feel, a new way to relate to life. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be quiet. It can be subtle. It can look like this: a moment where you choose to breathe instead of panic, a moment where you choose to trust instead of spiral, a moment where you remind yourself, I am safe, I am supported, I don't have to rush. And my dear, these small moments, they are not small at all. They are everything, because they are rewriting the way you experience your life. Now, I want to guide you a little deeper. Just stay with me, gently. Imagine yourself, not in the future, not when everything is perfect, but right now, as you are, sitting, breathing, existing. And imagine that around you, there is an invisible presence, calm, steady, loving, not watching you with judgment, but holding you with understanding, supporting you even when you don't notice it, guiding you even when you feel lost, protecting you even when things don't go your way. Can you feel that even just a little? That quiet sense that maybe, just maybe, you are not doing this alone. Stay there for a moment. Let yourself lean into that feeling. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to earn this support. It's already there. It always has been. And the more you relax into that truth, the more your life begins to feel different, not because everything changes overnight, but because you do. You move differently. You respond differently. You breathe differently. And life begins to meet you in that new space. So let's gently anchor this together. Repeat inside, softly. I allow myself to feel safe. Pause. I allow myself to trust. Breathe. I allow myself to receive. Again, slowly. I allow myself to feel safe. I allow myself to trust. I allow myself to receive. There's no rush, no pressure, just a quiet unfolding. And my dear, as you continue this journey, there may still be moments where doubt arises, where old patterns whisper, where fear tries to tighten its grip, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you've gone backwards. It doesn't mean you're failing. It simply means you're human, and you're in the process of becoming more aware, more conscious, more aligned. So, when those moments come, don't resist them. Don't judge yourself. Just return. Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to this truth. I am safe. I am supported. I can relax. And each time you return, you strengthen that pathway. You deepen that trust. You become more rooted in yourself until one day, without even realizing it, peace becomes your natural state. Trust becomes your default, and receiving becomes effortless. Take another slow breath with me, my dear. Let it move gently through your body, and as you exhale, feel yourself settling just a little deeper into this moment. Because now, I want to bring all of this into your everyday life, not as something distant or abstract, but as something real, something you can live, something you can feel in the smallest, quietest parts of your day. You see, transformation doesn't happen in big, dramatic moments. It happens in the way you wake up in the morning, in the way you speak to yourself when no one is listening, in the way you respond to the little things that used to trigger you. That's where your new life begins. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, but here, in the ordinary moments you usually overlook. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, before you reach for your phone, before the world rushes in, I want you to pause just for a few seconds. Place your awareness on your breath and softly remind yourself, I am safe. Feel it before you even get out of bed. Let it be the first signal you send to your body. Not urgency, not pressure, not worry, but safety. And then, as you move through your day, notice the small moments where you usually tighten. Maybe it's when something doesn't go as planned. Maybe it's when someone doesn't respond the way you expected. Maybe it's when your mind starts racing into the future. And in those moments, my dear, instead of following the old pattern, pause. Just pause. Take a breath and gently ask yourself, can I choose peace right now? Not because everything is perfect, but because you are learning to anchor yourself. Regardless of what is happening, this is how you begin to trust life again. Not by waiting for life to prove itself to you, but by choosing a new way of being within it. And I know there may be a part of you that still wonders, but what if things don't work out? But what if I get hurt? But what if I trust and I'm disappointed? My dear, come closer. Let me whisper this gently. You are not the same person you used to be. Even if something doesn't go the way you hoped, even if a door closes, even if something shifts unexpectedly, you will not break the way you once did. Because now you are learning how to hold yourself. You are learning how to return to yourself. You are learning how to feel safe within yourself. And that changes everything. Because when you feel safe within, the outside world loses its power to shake you. It no longer defines your worth. It no longer controls your peace. It no longer determines your direction. You become steady, grounded, soft, but unshakable. And from that place, life begins to flow differently. Opportunities feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Relationships feel more aligned. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you are no longer resisting it. You are moving with it, trusting it, allowing it. And this is where receiving becomes natural. Not forced, not chased, but allowed. So throughout your day, I want you to return to these gentle reminders again and again, not as a task, not as pressure, but as a soft return, a coming back to yourself. When you're walking, breathe and remember, I am supported. When you're sitting quietly, remind yourself, I don't have to rush. When something feels uncertain, whisper, I trust the timing of my life. Let these words become familiar. Let them settle into your body. Let them shape the way you experience your world. Because over time, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop looking outside for constant reassurance. You stop needing everything to go perfectly. You stop questioning every step. And instead, you begin to feel a quiet knowing, a calm certainty that no matter what happens, you are okay. You are guided. You are supported. And my dear, this is true abundance. Not just having everything you want, but feeling at peace, no matter where you are. Now, before we close, I want you to sit with me one more time. just like we did at the beginning. Take a deep breath in, slowly, and release, gently. And as you sit here, I want you to imagine your life unfolding, not in a rushed or chaotic way, but in a calm, steady, beautiful rhythm, like everything is falling into place, one step at a time, without force, without fear, without struggle, just a natural unfolding. Can you feel that vision, even just a little? That's not something far away. That's something you are stepping into. Right now, with every breath, with every choice to trust, with every moment you allow yourself to relax. So let this be your truth, your anchor, your quiet return. I relax. I am safe. I am protected. I am fully supported by the universe. Again, slowly. I relax. I am safe. I am protected. I am fully supported. And my dear, carry this with you, not as something you have to remember perfectly, but as something you can always come back to, no matter where you are, no matter what you're facing, no matter how uncertain things may feel. You can always return to your breath, to your body, to this knowing that you are held, that you are guided, that you are never alone. So soften, let go, trust a little more, and rest, because everything you need is already finding its way to you in the most perfect and gentle timing